This is going to be a look at some Isaiah Likely film through 3 weeks. Of course, we know he has 9 catches, 88 yards, 3 first downs, no touchdowns, 16 or 17 targets. Compared to the preseason, contribution, obviously is a big difference, but it's a big difference in who he's playing against. It seems like for Ravens fans and probably most NFL teams in general, prior to every week's game, there's a prediction that people put forth. We all do it, right? Kyle Hamilton's going to have his first interception. J.K. Dobbins is going to have 100 yards. Isaiah Likely is going to have 6 catches. Those are always in my thoughts as well. Is this going to be the game when a particular guy breaks out? The guy that I picked for this week is Isaiah Likely. I feel like when the Browns don't get pass rush, they give up big plays. They've got Myles Garrett, they've got Jadeveon Clowney, and I know that their run defense is supposedly not very highly rated. I understand that, but my point in making this video is it's to build on a video I put out Friday afternoon, Friday evening, which was about Nick Boyle and the way that the Ravens coaching staff is scheming other tight ends, Josh Oliver, open by using Mark Andrews. They did the same thing with Isaiah Likely against the Giants as well, to a lesser extent. He didn't have a highlight catch like Josh Oliver did, but he did have 2 big catches, I think, and one of which, he stiff-armed a linebacker and ended up gaining like 16 or 17 yards, so I'll show you that one. So we're going to look at some Isaiah Likely film from this season. Overall, I think there'll be 3 incompletions in here, but we're going to show mostly his big gains. Generally, what I try to do is talk about what a player can do, and it seems as if we're going to continue to scheme open other tight ends and have more trouble scheming open wide receivers. So I'm going to accept that for a moment with my approach here and look at, over the next 2 games, which is going to happen in 7 days, or 6 days, I guess. We need some contribution from Isaiah Likely or from James Prochet or from Josh Oliver. We need some contribution, especially with J.K. being out now. We're going to need some contribution from other guys. Demarcus Robinson, Devin Duvernay, Bateman over the course of those 2 games is going to have to give us something, maybe during both games. I think the Ravens may play it safe and not play him against the Browns and bring him back for the Tampa Bay game on Thursday. I think that kind of makes sense, but who knows what we'll see. So having said that, let's look at some of the film of Isaiah Likely so far. I'll kind of evaluate some of it. This is a shovel pass early in the game. 3rd drive against the Patriots. Isaiah Likely is up top here in the slot, and I love this concept. I wish we use this a little more often because Isaiah Likely is really good after the catch. And this is a situation where we're kind of faking that we're reading Matthew Judon. We're not really going to hand the ball off and then just shovel pass underneath him. I think it's a beautiful concept. It's a completion for Lamar. And before some people might say, well, what does that matter? Why does Lamar need easy completions? Everybody gets easy completions. Like the college game is all about these hide concepts where the slot or H-back is slipping out into the flats. And then, you're building complementary routes down here to the bottom side, whatever they may be. All right, so that's just something you do, if you ask me. And this is what we have to do. Whether we have great receivers, whether we have average receivers, I don't care what the hell we have. We've got to have schemed up pass plays where we get guys open, easy completions. And then, this is well designed. I think I talked about this after the Patriots game. With Andrews' route, he's able to peel back here and get this kind of late crackback block on a second-level player. Isaiah Likely gets 8 or 9 yards. Cool concept if you ask me. Let's check it out from the end zone angle. Is Isaiah Likely going to score on 40-yard touchdowns? Is he going to beat people vertically? Well, I'm not sure that's what that's what they're intending for him to do. His big body, his run after the catch ability. I like him. I wish we got him the ball more often. But I say that about a bunch of players. Like I root for these guys probably just the same way you do in terms of, seeing them have an impact, seeing them being able to, achieve the goals that they have for themselves in terms of production. The area is in the slot, going in motion. This is a 3rd and 6. I'd like to see the ball be out to him a little bit quicker so he can catch it a little smoother and try to drive in here for the first down. I think we settled for the field goal to put us up 16-10 on this one. I'd like to see the ball out there just slightly quicker to him because I feel like this is a designed play, and Lamar knows where he's going with the football right about now because he sees Wilson, who apparently is out now, and that's a huge loss for the Bengals because he's a really underrated football player. I really love his game. I mean, you guys know, watching the channel, I respect the Bengals defense like crazy because they play in such a fundamental manner. But in any case, this ball I feel like should be out just slightly quicker. Let him be a little smoother turn and have a little bit more field to deal with. Because I feel like when you give Isaiah Likely a little room to deal with and somebody who's a linebacker, it puts him in a good position to succeed. So I like the play. I think it was designed all the way to get him the ball. In my opinion, kind of going, I don't know if it's, I guess, macro here. I don't know why we don't do this with a receiver. You know, I don't. I don't know why we don't do this with a receiver. If we think we're getting man, not that Isaiah Likely can't break the tackle. I just said that I think if we gave him a little bit more space, he's in a better situation. I don't know why we don't do this with Duvernay more often. I don't know why we don't do this with, Will Bateman when he comes back. Get him some space. Let him get out here, whether it's 3rd and 6, whether it's 2nd and 6, whether it's 1st and 10. In my opinion, those are cheap, easy throws that are there. We've seen a little bit more man in the last 2 weeks against the Bengals and the Giants than we have in previous weeks. So who knows? Maybe we'll get more man by the Browns. I contend with you that if they play man and the pass rush doesn't get there, we're going to hit them for big plays, regardless of who plays at receiver. In motion again, and we're getting an RPO here. So we're reading, the end man, and we're pulling the guard and the tackle. So it could be a run concept down here to the bottom side. We flip it out down. This is a great throw. I think this is beautiful. Perfect timing by Lamar, if you ask me. Getting the ball out here, boom. Same kind of setup you can see from Duvernay. Duvernay is going to try to pick up this inside-out rusher, very similar to the play I showed you against the Patriots, where Andrews was able to pick up that second-level defender. We're not able to get him here. No problem. It only ends up being a 4 or 5 yard gain. I'm still down with it. We need to stretch people horizontally. I don't care whether it's Likely, Duvernay, Lamar, Drake, whatever. We need to stretch the field horizontally and vertically when we can and get people, open up seams and force them to defend the whole width of the football field. One of the things that I've said about Joe Burrow, and the Bengals and their run is like when he's in empty, he's stretching you horizontally. They're stretching the field horizontally and forcing you to defend the width of the field. This is an awesome route combination. Great throw by Lamar. Isaiah Likely ends up being wide open along the sideline. I would love to see us kind of do this a little more often down the field with him because I feel like he's dangerous after the catch. Let me know what you guys think about his, downfield ability, not 30, 40 yard plus bombs, but just his ability to catch the ball, especially where this is, outside the bottom of the numbers, which continues to be an area that people talk about. Lamar not attacking enough. It has certainly been an issue in the last 2 weeks since we have not had Rashad Bateman available. All right, sticks, blitz zero look. And we don't get much out of this. I feel like this is the same concept we have used. This is not what I want to do against sticks blitz zero. It's just not. It doesn't work for us. It has not worked for us against this concept. These guys are not blitzing. They're peeling out, and they're inside-out pursuit guys. So I just feel like if we're going to get this look from these teams, and people aren't going to like this, just run QB power. Run QB power. And have Lamar read it. Have him read the end man on the line of scrimmage, which is this guy right here. Take everybody else down, block everybody down. So we may need a closer tight end slot aligned to be able to do that. Read this guy on the running back cross and face and either give it or have Lamar keep it, behind the pulling lineman, just block everybody down. It's proven that that's our best concept or one of our best, and we just hit the Giants with it last week down there on the 16-yard line. Lamar ran for 11 yards. Not sure if you remember it. We can break people from this stupid look that's really not sound overall. I just don't think this is the way to do it. All right, Likely again in the slot, and it's going to end up being empty. And these are the routes that, if you ask me, are available to him a little bit more. Working off of Andrews. Working off of Andrews underneath here. Yeah, we don't pick up the first down. This is a 3rd and 10, so you would like to see this route be run a little bit deeper than where it is. There's certainly a lot of room between him and Andrews to be able to run it. I'd like to see the route run a little bit deeper than that. But, nonetheless, that's the concept that was called for. They're able to make the tackle and hold us short. I think we ended up getting having to convert and get a field goal there. All right, another Sticks blitz zero look, and Likely is up top, and we're running this tunnel screen to him. It's just, there's nothing there. These are not there. If we're going to run this screen, we need to run this screen a couple of times and then throw the fake screen and go up top. I mean, we are sitting wide open. But granted, you got pressure in Lamar's face because they bring in one more defender than we can block. So that's the whole point of the concept, is trying to give us less time to make decisions, get the ball out of Lamar's hands. I would love to see Isaiah Likely get the ball more. I just don't think this is the concept to do it. If you listened to the channel last year, I think you beat them up top. You go up top, go attack them deep. All you got to do is beat them one time, and you get them out of this coverage. If you don't get them out of this coverage, you can go up top again and beat them again. All right, we don't really need to see the end zone angle of that one. A couple of plays from the Giants game. This is a wonderful job by Likely. One-on-one against this linebacker, complete mismatch. Before the catch and after the catch. I love him being near Andrews and using Andrews' gravity to get people open. I'm down with that. That's fine. I just wish we did this with receivers some. I wish we, let Duve run this route. Duve's going to get a different coverage guy than Likely is, though, if it's man-to-man. And this is obviously a mismatch in our favor. I feel like Isaiah Likely is ready to have a big game, 5 catches, 6 catches, 7 catches, whatever. I feel like he's ready to contribute, particularly against this Browns defense. They're going to be fired up to stop Andrews. They try to do some things some things that are a little tricky out of their too high safety looks against Andrews. And in my opinion, the guy who I think can really take advantage of them and work off of Andrews is Isaiah Likely. Another example here of Andrews. This time he's the point man. He's running out, trying to occupy, at least one, usually 2 defenders. Now this is just man, and he's got belt and beat. Lamar delivers the football, boom. Right on target, 11, 12 yards. He's had a lot of opportunities this year where he's not taking advantage of them. This is one that's kind of interesting to me. He's lined up as the outside receiver. And this is a personnel grouping that a lot of people don't like. I actually really do. Like, just to be real, our running backs do not pass pro good. They just don't. I mean, they're horrible at it. It's not they're average. They're horrible at it. So the reason why we have Ricard on the field is to help out in pass pro. Now, if we've got Ronnie Stanley here, we may not need help on that left side. It may be a good idea to have some help this week, being as we're dealing with Myles Garrett. So this is a 12 personnel grouping with one running back being Ricard and 2 tight ends. It is an effective group for us in terms of yards per play. I don't know exactly what it is. I haven't had time to calculate all that. I'm not sure what happens with the throw here. This is interesting to me, though. Having Likely as the number 1, Duve as the number 2 receiver, and then Andrews as the number 3, because you count from inside out, in case you don't know that. This is very interesting to me. Seeing what we can develop with Likely, because it sets up the slot fade, which is, it's kind of a route that kills almost every coverage, if you ask me. Now, that DB's getting off. Lamar doesn't deliver a throw there where Likely is in position to catch it. So, fine. This is another third down missed opportunity for us. Likely is in the slot. Again, next to or near to Andrews. And he's running the little under. I personally think that he's grabbed right before the ball gets there. But I'm a defensive guy, so I give the guy credit. He challenged the play. And he made a play on the ball. Lamar's trying to deliver the football over top of this defender. This is one of them situations where I have complained all week about us not running the ball. I don't care if it's 3rd and 5. Run QB power read. QB power read is our play. We're going to win the Super Bowl on QB power read. Watch. Because we're going to be in a situation where we're 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, or somewhere, around the 20, something like that. And we're going to run QB power read, and Lamar's going to keep it and score to win the game. It's that good of a concept for us. It is. I understand that we might not like Lamar running the ball a ton, but we have to run it. We have to run it because it's productive. I'm just a fan of doing what's working, and it's working. A couple of more examples of Likely. He's in the slot here. Again, next to Andrews. You have 2 tight ends on the field. They're trying to get him out into the flats, very similar to the shovel pass. And you can see the DN is just well-trained. Oliver's also trying to block him down, take him down. So he's blocking him into Likely, impedes the route. Nothing was going to be there anyway because you've got a pursuing player. You got a second-level player linebacker who would have been able to cover Likely anyway. It just would have maybe created a little bit more space, giving Lamar the opportunity to try to scramble. Some plays from earlier in the year, when Likely is targeted or at least a part of the read. Here he is down here in the slot. This is a more typical usage of Ricard being in the slot and a typical running back being in the backfield. And him motioning across, pass pro, and you got Likely down here dealing with someone what looks like man-to-man. And he is open and available for a moment. There's just a little bit of mistiming here. Lamar's checking Andrews over here first. Comes back to Likely, but he's got guys in his face. So he's delivering this ball like off platform, meaning off his throwing platform. And it's not putting in a situation where Likely can catch it. I think we did get an interference call over here on Andrews on the right-hand side, though. Maybe it's a hold. All right, one more play of Likely from that Miami game, again in the slot. Now, these are all incompletions. So, there's times where he's being given opportunities and he's not taking advantage of them for whatever reason. This looks like a 3rd and long situation to me. I think I got it as 3rd and 12. Trying to throw it back across his body, and then he scrambled. Oh, I got to show the end zone angle of this. My bad. I can't show that angle. The NFL showed that angle, so I'm going to have to cut that out. So 3rd and 12, Lamar ends up having to scramble because we're beat over here. Pre-Stanley being available, we were still having trouble. And this is a ball or a situation where Lamar, I think, thought there was a penalty on us. He wasn't really into the play for a moment, and this ball's slightly high, but you'd still like to see Likely make the catch. He's got no one around him. We expect, we have a high standard for our players, right, because we want to win. So I think the throw's a little high, maybe a yard high, maybe 2 foot high. And I'd still like to see Likely be able to go up and get it. If he wants to be where, he wants to be in terms of a player and impact in this league in his rookie year, he wants to go get that ball. This is just a little preview of some Isaiah Likely film. Let me know what you guys think. He's certainly not disappointed me. Like, for him to only have 9 catches in 6 games, that's not disappointing to me. I'm not a stats guy. He could have 9 catches and 3 touchdowns. He could certainly have 12 or 13 catches at this point. If just by looking at some of the film, there's a ball there, the ball against the Giants down in the end zone on 3rd and goal from the 5. There's situations where the ball's available to him. He's either not made the play, the ball's been in his hands, or the defender's made a great play to prevent him from doing so. Or like the Hyde concept against the Bengals, the DN did a great job of impeding his route, not giving him an opportunity. So let me know what you think of Isaiah Likely. If you agree with my assertion that Isaiah Likely, Demarcus Robinson, Prochet, maybe Kenyon Drake, guys are going to have to give us an impact over the course of the next 6 days for us to get 2 wins. Because that's what we want to come out of here with. We want to come out of here with 2 wins. We certainly don't want to be 1-1, and we damn sure don't want to be 0-2. In this basically doubleheader situation, home against the Browns, and then down in Tampa on a Thursday night, which is a brutal situation playing on Thursday Night Football anyway. As you know from probably listening to the channel or follow me on Twitter, I hate Thursday Night Football for any football player, like college, high school, pro, anything. At least in high school, if you play on a Friday or maybe a Saturday and you play on Thursday, at least you've got an extra day's rest. And in the NFL, these guys, it's totally unfair for them to be playing a game in Maryland on Sunday and then flying down to Florida to play on a Thursday. Presumably flying in on Wednesday would be my guess. I don't know, the Ravens' itinerary like that. I don't pay attention to it, but I think it's a recipe for a failure for the product and a recipe for failure for the players. In any case, I digress there at the end. Let me know what you think of Isaiah Likely's season so far through 6 games. If you agree with me that I think he will have an impact at some point, and that it could be this week against the Browns at home in Week 7.